Generally, the differences between the human male and female orgasms are that the climax in the female can be physiologically interrupted more easily than can the male response, and the male's orgasm is usually accompanied by ejaculation of semen. Both male and female experience momentary muscular contractions during the orgasm, but the female's effects are usually longer in duration. Since the male responses are usually more rapidly induced, the male probably achieves orgasms more consistently during intercourse than does the female. Once the female attains an orgasm, however, she remains sexually excited longer and may experience several successive orgasms, whereas the male is ordinarily unable to experience a second orgasm except after a waiting period. Well, to another edition of our educational videos, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Orgasm is marked by a feeling of sudden and intense pleasure, an abrupt increase in pulse rate and blood pressure, and spasms of the pelvic muscles that cause contractions of the lower vagina in the female and contractions of the urethra and ejaculation by the male. Males and females are physiologically capable of experiencing orgasm from infancy, and children who engage in masturbation or sex play may achieve this sensation. Orgasm can occur while a person is asleep and dreaming, as well as from sexual intercourse or masturbation. When we look at the neurology of an orgasm, male and female climaxes are almost indistinguishable, as does the description men and women give for their experience. It starts with a feeling of warmth deep inside me, and my muscles begin to tense up, and so on. But there is one big difference: frequency. 1. Heterosexual men orgasm most times they have sex. 2. Followed by gay men. 3. Followed by bi men. 4. Followed by lesbian women. 5. Followed by heterosexual women, who orgasm somewhere between 45 to 65%. That's all the statistics I could find on the subject. Predictably, our sexual response is a complex process occurring in 4 stages. We start with a stage of initial excitement, followed by a plateau, orgasm, and resolution. During the resolution, post-orgasm, stage, there's an experience that's known as a refractory period, during which another orgasm is physically impossible. When it comes to the duration of orgasm, vaginas and clitorises typically keep it going longer. The general consensus among current research is that the orgasm stage here can last as long as 20 seconds, or even longer for some, while penis ejaculation lasts from 3 to 10 seconds, according to Marshall. Orgasms can vary in length and intensity, she tells Romper, and can be both person and situation specific, i.e. partnered versus solo. No particular orgasm is better than another, and ideally shouldn't be compared. From an evolutionary and anatomical standpoint, it's easy to understand why penises orgasm. The process helps the sperm-filled fluid reach the uterus and fertilize any eggs that may be waiting there. We rely on this ejaculation to keep humanity going. For people with vaginas and clitorises, things are less clear-cut. While a typical climax for someone with a penis includes ejaculation of seminal fluid, the same isn't necessarily true for those with vaginas. A report in the Journal of Sexual Medicine examined various studies on ejaculation for people with vaginas and found that only about 10 to 55% expel a whitish fluid during sex. But as Queen notes, this can be tough to apply to the entirety of the population, telling Romper, "We don't even know how many could if appropriately stimulated. How could we possibly even do that research?" Despite some seemingly obvious physical differences at surface level, orgasms feel pretty much the same no matter what equipment you're working with. That's because said equipment isn't all that different after all. All of us humans start out with the same genital anatomy in utero, Queen explains, and while it develops under the influence of hormones during gestation, all our parts are homologous, often functioning similarly and developing from the same basic structure and neurology. What does that mean? The penis and clitoris actually develop from the same thing, as do prostate and G-spot and other genital elements, Queen adds, explaining that orgasms are very similar. We're not opposites at all, and proof of that is in the anatomy of intersex folks. During orgasm, penis owner's anal sphincter, prostate gland, and penis contract, producing sensations of intense pleasure. For vulva owners, the contraction of the vaginal, uterine, and pelvic muscles create a similar result. Everyone's brains release the pleasure hormone oxytocin as well.